What's going on, everyone? There was no final countdown because I didn't feel like doing one today. I didn't feel like doing it. I don't know why, but I just didn't want to do it because I'm a rebel, just like the New York Football Giants, who are sitting here waiting to see who this quarterback could possibly be. Who's going to be the quarterback for the New York Football Giants? Could it be someone in the draft? Could it be somebody that we haven't thought of? Is it Spencer Rattler? Is it the lumbering giant out of Ohio State? Is it Matthew Stafford? Where could it be? Well, what's up, Hirsch, for real? What's going on, Hirsch? How you doing, my brother? Oh, someone said to me the other day, Tim, because that's what people say to me when they talk to me. They said, you don't do any nighttime live streams. You're right, because I'm lazy. So you want an honest answer? I like doing them in the day more.
That's what she said.
So we're going to start by talking about these New York Giants. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about what happens if it's not a quarterback. What happens? You know, there was a post, a couple of Twitter posts that that stated that some trade value for the Tennessee Titans top number one overall pick, and it was going to be a swap with the Giants for 3. Something of Daniel Jones. We're talking about Daniel Jones and the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. It was a swap between 1 and 3, and then 2 third-round picks. And there was a survey, and I can't remember what beat writer did the survey. And I was laughing because 52% of Giant fans said they wouldn't make that trade. Well, that's and like I've said it before, 52% of Giant fans are fucking idiots. You wouldn't swap 1 and 3 and 2/3 for the shot at Cam Ward. I think Joe Shane would cream himself and literally jump at that opportunity to make that type of commitment or make that type of trade. I really do think he would. Right away, I think he would. But 52% of Giant fans said, no, we're not doing that. That's just fucking crazy talk. Why would you want a franchise quarterback only swap number 1s and 2 3s? I don't like Jackson Dart. Said it before. Said it a million times. He's got the flowing hair. He uses the X in his name. I watched the Kentucky game. I watched the Florida game. 29 touchdowns, and we've talked about it before. 19 of them came in 4 games. And one of those games was against Furman. Another one was like Southern Georgia. Other one was Arkansas. I can't. And there was another bad team thrown in there as well. Everyone will talk about the Georgia win. I just don't see the arm strength. People, we've talked about it before. People show that pass down the center of the field at the Senior Bowl. They're like, ooh, look at that pass. You know what I saw? I saw a guy that threw the ball short. He throws it over to the defender. The receiver doesn't have to come back for the ball. He doesn't have to make a great catch. He hits him in stride. That's 6. I see a guy that's indecisive against the rush. He's never going to be someone that's going to sit in the pocket. People are going to say, well, Tim, this is a shotgun league. No, there's going to be times. There's going to be times that you're going to have to be under center, and he can't do it. He's got to be a guy that's got to move around the pocket. He cannot sit as a stationary target. He's not going to be a pocket passer. You're going to have to reinvent your entire offense for Jackson Dart. And I'm going to say it nice. His arm strength is JJ McCarthy-esque. Tim, you going Hunter or Carter at 3? If both quarterbacks are gone. If Hunter is sitting there at 3, Anthony, I'm taking Hunter 1,498% of the time. And I've said this before, nothing against Abdul Carter, nothing against him, but he was an average off-the-ball linebacker for 2 years at Penn State till they figured out at Penn State that we're going to put him on the line. And he's going to use his speed to get around guys that are probably going to be working at Home Depot in 2 years. Now, the only problem with him is he has tremendous speed. He's got that tremendous first step that Abdul Carter does. And people say, well, he's got most tackles for losses in college football last year. But the problem is this. If you watch the way he rushes the passer, and we've talked about it before. Yo, what's up? We talked about it before. He does this little dip move. He does this little dip move with his shoulder. And if you watch it, they showed him doing training videos of Abdul Carter. And he's still doing this little dip. He does this little dip, kind of goes around and goes outside and around the defender. The problem is in the NFL, you're not going to be able to do that. Kayvon Thibodeau found that out real quick. Ocean Zimenez found that out real quick. Because you're just going to get pushed to the outside. And during the bowl game, when he hurt his shoulder, he was a non-factor because he couldn't do his little dip, and the tackles just drove him into the ground. And you got another undersized defensive end that I'm going to have concerns going up against the run and understanding that he has to maintain his assignment and hold his gap and hold his edge. And you already got two guys that can't do that. You got the Ghost Brothers who can't do it. So you're going to bring in a third guy? You already have committed, I think we figured it out the other day. You've committed almost 20% of your salary cap to Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau when he hits that $16 million, and Dexter Lawrence. You're going to have over 20% of your cap dedicated to those guys. And we don't play the run well. And we don't rush the passer well. Those are all massive problems. To bring in a third guy, where are you going to put him? We're going to get to Mason Graham. Don't worry, Big Greg. We're going to get, I saw the Mason Graham thing. We're going to get to Mason Graham and why Mason Graham may make sense, but there's a caveat to why Mason Graham might make sense. And we're going to get to Mason Graham for a second, though. But if I have Travis Hunter sitting there at 3, and I'm looking at him, and I'm saying, okay, you know what? If all my quarterbacks are gone, and I have Travis Hunter, I got to take Travis Hunter. But the problem is this: I'm putting Travis Hunter. I've talked about it before. I'm putting Travis Hunter at corner. I'm not going to put him in. A lot of people are going to be like, "Well, you can't take that type of playmaking ability and move him over to off that ball." No, I'm going to. I'm going to have to. And there's a reason I'm going to have to, because of the fact that I need another corner. I need a CB1. And this is a very difficult game to play when you don't have a CB1 or CB2. Same like we said it before. It's a difficult game to play if you don't have a guy under center. Mason Graham, people love. I think Mason Graham, for his size at 320, I mean, he's got, what's a good way to say it? He's got, trying to think of a good term. He's got lateral agility. He can move from side to side, which is nice for a guy that big. And he's a guy that fights in the trenches and knows how to use his hands. And honestly, he's just fucking nasty. He's got that streak. He's got that mean streak. He doesn't have that Will Hernandez, I'm going to do stupid shit mean streak. He's just, it's just there. He's just there. He's just nasty. Now, some of the things you have to worry about from him right away is the fact that if you watch him, kind of like Abdul Carter, I don't know how he's going to be. I don't know if his pass rushing repartee is there. I don't know if he has a plethora of moves. But when you have that violent first strike and you can attack you can attack the offensive lineman with that size frame in the middle of the field, because that's where I'm putting him in the middle of the field. Then you got something special. But like I said, there are some times though where he's got some. Mason Graham is got some issues. You know, like I said, he would be a good pick at 3 if we didn't have Dexter Lawrence. He's going to probably be more of a pass rusher than Dexter Lawrence is currently. But the problem is this: you have Dexter Lawrence. So we can't keep investing in the defensive line and then have Kayvon Thibodeau, if we pick up the money at 16.5, You're going to be paying almost 30 for Dexter. Then you're going to pay 30 for Brian Burns, and then you're going to put a first-round pick on 4 guys on your defensive line, and you don't play the run well at all. If you were considering trading Dexter Lawrence and potentially getting back into the first round, then Mason Graham makes sense. But if you're not, if you're going to just sit there and you're going to keep your nucleus of your defense, listen, the nucleus of this defensive line has not played well since
King of the almost sack.
Even back when we had Leonard Williams, we played better. The last season Leonard Williams is here when he missed those games. Our yards per carry against went down when he was out of the game. That tells you something. And it's kind of the same thing that happened with Brian Burns and everyone else. When these guys, what's up, Daniel? Yo, yo, yo. When these guys go out, we all of a sudden make the stops. The Eagles and the Eagles and the Chiefs have always shown us the way. That the fact that you literally have to have, you got to build up front. You have to build up front. The Eagles showed that exponentially with their drafts. Fireside is my grandson's Giants channel. Okay. Okay. Well, Batman is my nephew's uncle's brother. Are you just saying that he likes watching Fireside Chats? We got Big Don in the chat. He has arrived. I have arrived. Let me go through the chat here real quick. I want to see Big Willie style. We're gonna talk about Big Willie. Big Willie, of course, is on the cover here on the thumbnail. We're going to talk about Big Willie. We got James. Hit that like button. Do that smash and do that like. And Danny Duds the Go says, we can always expect the Giants to make a dumb decision. If you go and get Jackson Dart with the second-round pick, you have made a dumb decision. Plain and simple. Stupid as a stupid does, Mr. Blue. You've made a dumb decision. If you wait till Jackson Dart would be a 7th rounder or not even drafted last year. Hit the like, or sit on the spike. What's up, Big Greg? Dennis says, I'm itching. I can't keep still. Racing thoughts, burning the yearning. I don't think I'm going to make it. Oh, no. Sounds more like herpes. Oh, what's up, Dennis? Big James, we got Big T, we got everyone coming. Zach Attack says New York Giants select Travis Hunter. I would like, I'm fine with Travis Hunter. Wouldn't be mad, Zach. We had Herschel Real say hello, Tim. The Curse of Eli Manning says we will pick a Duke third time. You know what? No, we're not getting Riley Leonard. We are not getting the Florida Golden Doma, also from Duke. Riley Leonard is just he's just not a guy. He's just not the guy. He aspires to be Sam Hartman, but we have to break it.
This place is cursed.
We have to break the curse. We got to allow Eli Manning to buy 10% of the team just so we can break the curse. What do we say? I wanted to be a quarterback, but probably not going to be. A lot of scouts were saying that Joe Shane was telegraphing what he was doing at the Senior Bowl. I know. It's shocking that Joe, the infinite wisdom Shane, would be telegraphing anything that he was basically quarterback shopping. Curious if the Giants prefer Sanders over Ward. I'd take either or. I think both have their warts, but I do think both are NFL quarterbacks. Dumb as hell. I'm taking the run to the podium. Never fear, OGR is here. Hello, chat. Hope you have a good time on your getaway. Always have a good time. Let's see. The kid from Louisville in the 3rd round. He'll be 26 September, but that's our bridge. We can't have a bridge quarterback who's never played. Dennis. Yeah, that would be our bridge quarterback. Is Chris Winkie still available? Can we get him? Can we get Brandon Whedon? Can Brandon Whedon come out? Tim, are you going Hunter or Carter at 3? Both quarterbacks. Oh, we already answered that. Jake Jeff says, Timmy, what's up? Evan. If they draft Dart at 3, I would be livid. There is talk. There is speculation that the Giants are starting to fall in love with Kyle McCord. The Syracuse product. Playing over in the Carrier Dome. Because and I love it because they remind him of Eli Manning. Dun dun dun. I like Kyle McCord. Not at 3. Not in the second. Not in the third. Maybe the fourth. He's not a big kid. They list him at 6'2", 225. But I've said, I did a video quickly on it the other day. If you want to look at a guy that has I'm not going to say perfect because nothing's perfect, but if you look at a guy that's got really outstanding technique in reference to his ability to throw the ball, it's Kyle McCord. The dude between 15 to 25 yards is fucking surgical. He will tear you apart. He will rip you apart, and he still has the arm strength to go deep. And a lot of his velocity is just because of the fact that he's got such good footwork and he's got such good mechanics that he generates that velocity on that pass. He did a lot at Syracuse with not having much. It's not like Marvin Harrison was there. But the problem is, like I said, he played at Syracuse. His completion percentage dropped exponentially against the rush. And he has a tendency to have mechanical breakdowns in his mechanics. When he's under duress. And you all know the Philadelphia Eagles rushed 4 in the Super Bowl and showed the league the way again. Like, not undervaluing the running back. So I worry that under a giant offensive line, I know Joe Shane likes to sit there. I love that press conference with Joe Shane when he's holding his microphone. He's flexing. We got 4 out of 5 returning offensive linemen. Okay. Andrew Thomas is hurt. Ellie Moore Fudd's 31, going to be 32. JMS, undersized center, who gave up the most sacks in the league by a center and some really bad holding penalties. So I wouldn't be bragging about your offensive line. But a guy like Kyle McCord, I think if you can keep him upright, he could go under center. He could be out in the spread. But I think he would be an interesting pick maybe later in the draft. Zacatech says the New York Giants are a team who's living off the legacy that is dying. Beating the 18-1 Pats made the Giants look better. Well, you got to give him 2011 too. Yo, what's up? Yo. What do we got here? It might be a hot take, but Abdul Carter is overrated. I did a whole video that I thought Abdul Carter was overrated. I also did a video that I think Travis Hunter can be a bust. So it's not really, it's not really, here it's not a hot take because I agree. Like I said, I'm not going to say he was a failed off the ball linebacker because he wasn't a failed. He just wasn't that good. He isn't what he was, or what he was, what he isn't. He's better than he was, but he was what he isn't, and he isn't what he was. There's a potential Abdul Carter is like Kayvon Thibodeau. Yeah, but you know what? Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, there was always the rumblings out of Oregon that he didn't really apply himself at times. And I agree. I didn't believe it at the time, but now going back and watching some of his things, I could see that. Abdul Carter puts in the work. I just don't think he's going to hold up I just don't think he's going to hold up in the NFL level. Let's see here. Abdul Carter's the guy. Both quarterbacks are gone. Actually, I don't have any feelings about him right now, to be perfectly honest, because I haven't really looked at him that much. I've arrived. Abdul, Burns, and Thibodeau would be sick. Yeah, it would make you fucking sick. Make you fucking vomit. Hirsch, remember what we said when we got, what about Brian Burns? Remember what we said? There was going to be a time in place, because it's their modus operandi, the both of them, that they are both going to disappear in games. And it's going to go sometimes, literally a lot of times they're just going to disappear. They're just going to vanish. And that's what they did. And the worst part is they did it against the Vikings. First game of the season, first 3-4 games, they vanished completely, both of them. You add that now in with Abdul Carter, I could see it all happening. JB, what's up? Said, just worried Travis Hunter will be more Isaiah Simmons and Deion Sanders when he plays in the NFL. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I got to go to the super chat with Massey a second, but I'm going to give you this about Abdul Carter. Oh, not Isaiah. He's not going to be Isaiah Simmons, Travis Hunter. But the problem is Travis Hunter has gone to the Deion Sanders school of tackling. If you ever watch Deion Sanders, especially in the Cowboy days and the 49er days, there was never a tackle he didn't want to make because they were all tackles he didn't want to make. And I kind of have a feeling Travis Hunter at his size is going to kind of be the same way. Massey with a big old super chat saying, using this giant team as an example, can you explain the different style and how a GM with time and one knowing he's on the hot seat drafts? Oh, yeah. I could explain it. I could explain it right away. GMs on the hot seat are fucking morons because all they're doing, we've said this before, Massey, a million times on this channel, and a lot of fans don't like to talk about it. The NFL is not just about a season. It's about building a dynasty, building an organization that consistently wins. We saw what happened years ago when we went out and signed all those free agents that had one playoff win. Not even playoff win, had one playoff appearance. Because we went out and broke the bank and overpaid for guys and brought them in because everyone was on the hot seat. And then we saw what happened after that. You make stupid mistakes when you're put into positions where you have to win. If someone told me that Joe Shane went and pulled a Bo Callahan and traded 3 number ones to get Cam Ward, I would not be shocked. I would literally not be shocked because of the fact that he has to win. Dable and Shane could both be fired by Thanksgiving. And that's the juxtaposition right there. They literally could be shit canned before Thanksgiving. So they have to do whatever they can to cushion that win total. 5 wins, I don't think they're coming back. 6 wins, I don't think they're coming back. You hit 7 wins, you're 7-10, which is still not good, which is still not playoff bound. You may come back. So being desperate makes you do things that you understand. You're trying to win right now. And and what I mean right now, you're trying to win in that moment. You're not building an organization. Joe Shane, when he came in, I'm going to do it the right way. We're going to build through the draft. We're going to find those foundation pieces, and then we're going to augment through free agency. No, he's just going out and trying to find guys that are going to save his ass, which in the long term, what Jerry Reese does, screws up everything. What's up, T-Brod? Hit that like button. What does Big James say? If we draft the Red Dart out of Mississippi, I'm done. I agree. I agree. Fireside first draft previewed featured wide receivers. I laughed at. You should laugh at. Mr. C. Sanders, what's up? What's going on? Trenton, what's going on? Trent Tim, why are you switching full time to Eagles content? It's funny. I got another Eagle fan that follows a lot. Mr. Trent Wright follows a lot too, and he was making me laugh because he goes, you know what? You need to switch. You need to become an Eagles content creator, and he was being serious. I mean, he literally and you know what? I would say his name, but I don't know if he wants me to say his name because he really sent me a beautiful, long fucking email. And I actually read it because normally when people send me really long emails, I get bored after like the first paragraph. But he literally sent me this 12 paragraph email about how I should switch over to doing the Eagles and how I should, because of the fact that, I give an honest assessment and an honest opinion. And I told him, I said, no, I can't do that. Long story short, no, I can't do that. We'd love to have you on our side. I'm on everyone's side. I love everyone. This is the new, kinder, gentler Tim. I love everyone. And I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. Giants need to trade up and get a top 2 quarterback. They're just plain stupid. All the rest of the quarterbacks just don't rise in the NFL level for the Giants to do what is necessary to get. The Giants do need to they just need to, because you want to be bold. How many times we've said on this channel before, guys? You want to be bold to have mighty forces come to your aid. But the problem is this. You cannot mortgage everything. You can't pull a Sonny Weaver, trade all your 1s and all your 2s for 3 years. You have to play the odds. But I think there's a deal to be had. I really do think there is a deal to be had with the Titans. Now, all we have to do is make sure Joe Shane is back on his masterclass. His masterclass of, no. But I do think there's a deal to be had. Joe will be going after Matthew Stafford. All right, the Matthew Stafford bullshit. What's up, OG? OG knockout. Matthew Stafford. The Rams have already said, we want your third overall pick. So you're going to trade the third overall pick, and I went past Joe Shane, for a 37-year-old quarterback who is probably not going to survive the season and have nothing behind him in regards to any type of depth besides Tommy DeVito. And people think that Matthew Stafford career's arc is gone. Start going out like that a little bit now. He's on the bottom half of his career. It's like when Joe Willie Namath went to the Rams. Joe Willie had nothing left in the tank, won a couple games, but he had nothing left in the tank. I'm not saying Matthew Stafford doesn't have anything left in the tank. Matthew Stafford's not the answer. Aaron Rodgers is not even the question. Sam Darnold's not the answer because you're going to overpay. People always talk about, we got $47 million in cap space. Oh, let's flex a little here. You got $47 million in cap space. There's no quarterback on the roster. Quarterbacks eat up 18 to 20% of your cap space, which is anywhere between 25 to 45 million. You got the cap space because you don't have a quarterback, and you only have like 47 contracts. Think about that. You don't have a quarterback on the roster. You don't have cap space because you don't have a quarterback. You go out and get Matthew Stafford, that $47 million is now like 15. You go out, you have to get like an Aaron Rodgers on like a $9 million deal. And I love the fact now, this is the best part. The Pittsburgh Steelers, let's wait for it, are enamored with Daniel Jones. They could potentially sign him. This is the same team that thought Mitchell Trubisky was going to be the answer. Same with Kenny Pickett. Okay. Good luck with that. Franchise quarterback. What's JB said? Fireside Giants are not good content creators. They always go with the popular opinion. That's what all content creators do. Because you want to be liked. You want to have people follow you. So you go with the popular opinion. You go with the status quo. We do the exact opposite here. We say what we think and we think what we say, and then we get all fucked up. What's up, Kevin? How you doing, my friend? James Parsons will take Travis Hunter's girlfriend, and that'll be another loss for us in the division. Oh my God! We'll talk about the kid from Louisville another time. I haven't done my research. Anthony says, I do truly believe the Giants will get a quarterback. They are desperate and seem to do whatever it takes to move up. That's what I'm afraid of. That's exactly what I'm afraid of, that they will do whatever they need to do to move up, which will just make shit worse. And you then know what happens.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
That literally is what will happen to us. We'll be in quarterback purgatory. I still love license plate guy with his, you can't be negative, guys. You can't be negative. Don't be negative. The team hasn't done shit in years. You can be fucking negative. You can be negative all you want. I've decided that I'm creating a new persona. I am going to be known as Rear Fender Guy. I'm going to walk around with a big fender around my neck. I might have to get 4 seats. Well, 3 seats. Because I don't want to wave at anybody. That'll be my claim to fame. James Williams has hit that like button. Please do. Please do hit the like. What's up, Big Greg? Island in the house. It's my island in the sun. Sources say Joe is looking to take a running back. Of course. Because now Joe is going to follow the Philadelphia Eagle model. You go out and get that franchise running back. Oh, wait. We had one. And he went to Philadelphia. I like the kid out of Boise State. I do like the running back out of Boise State, but you can't say. Let's see how he shows out at the combine. Who's that? Which one are we talking about? Kevin's, what does Greg say? Kevin, they will take a running back a lot. Good ones. I wouldn't mind. I like the guy from Ohio State running back class. He would be good too. T-Bad says we're going to trade up to the first overall pick. Draft Jackson as a giant type of move. James Stein says the Giants need to trade up and get a top 2 quarterback. The Giants are playing stupid. Now it's time to get that franchise quarterback or you're going to suck going forward. Damn. All right. Oh, my God. I heard we're going to trade the 3rd pick for Trevor Lawrence. No, Trevor Lawrence is going to Pittsburgh. I don't understand the Trevor Lawrence talk. I don't. Even if it was the Giants, I don't understand it. The Trevor Lawrence trade would literally wreck 2 team salary caps. So, but it's a fan trade. What's up, J Sports Cards? My sources say Jaden Drones will be signed by the Giants to a team-friendly deal to be their bridge quarterback. It's the Ghost Brothers. Oh, you know what? I saw that one ahead of time, and I probably should have found the Ghost Brothers.
Submitted for your approval. The Ghost Brothers. Nobody needs to be afraid.
Oh, make sure you're not afraid of those Ghost Brothers. No one else is. Hello, G. What's up, Tim? Joe Shane is a bum. I think I've decided. I've decided on a new intro. All right, everyone. This is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, Joe Shane still sucks. I think that's going to be my intro for the rest of the season. James says, let's say, like I said, we need to trade up what's necessary to get a top 2 quarterback in 2025 and beyond. I agree. You can't keep, Joe Shane is pulling the Jerry Reese. Jerry Reese, I mean, we were built going back to the venerable Sam Huff on linebackers on this team, on this Giant team. And Jerry Reese never wanted to draft a linebacker. What's his name? Clint Simptons. Simmons. Simptons. I can't ever say his name. Doesn't matter because he doesn't fucking play here no more. He never drafted linebackers. Never. Tried to make it move with John Beeson. That didn't work out either. But Joe Shane is the exact same way with quarterbacks. We don't need a quarterback. We just hike the ball. We don't need a QB1. We're going to run the veer. Tank for Archie Manning. Yeah, it's a long way to tank. Herbologist says, Big Blue Nation, smash that like button. Make sure you smash that like button. Kevin says, Arch ain't coming to the Giants. There is a reason he's in Texas. I predict Arch will be a Patriot one day. You have to wonder. The matriarch of the family, I guess, would technically be Cooper Manning. But Archie, the other Archie Manning, didn't want Eli to go to San Diego because San Diego, even with Bobby Beathard back in the day, was a shit show. So he, even though he also made a Super Bowl, with Stan Humphries at quarterback, but he didn't want to go there because he didn't think they were going to win. What's to prevent the New York Giants being basically the San Diego Chargers and Cooper Manning saying, I don't want to play for the Giants. You have been so bad since 2012. I think it was 2013. We were 70 and 120 with 2 playoff appearances and 1 win. Why? I mean, I don't get it. Let's see. Jay Sports Cars says, why are we even considering picking up the option on the Ghost Brothers friendly neighborhood? Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't understand that either. $16.1 million from Kayvon Thibodeau. Has Kayvon Thibodeau put together has he put together a career that allows you to pick up a $16.1 million option on him? And then everyone's like, well, he'll just sign an extension. Okay, that's true. He could sign an extension, but the extension does not take effect until after the 5th year. So you're We've talked about his 11.5 sack season. You could actually, like I said, you can technically omit 2 of those sacks because one came in the first series in the Seattle game, and then the second one came in at the last series of the Seattle game when the game was already in doubt, when the game was already over. He's never going to play the run well. He's never going to have consistency rushing the passer. He'll have these games where he gets 2-3 sacks, and then have a games where he disappears for 3-4 games. That's why he's the ghost brother. What do we got here, Lamar? Casanova. Me and Romeo ain't never been friends. Can't you say I really love you? Shane, I need 2 linebackers. Shane says, I need 2 outside linebackers. Joe Shane. What about Brian Burns? Joe Shane is a clown. You got that right. Greg says, the best quarterback in next year's draft is North Sellers from South Carolina. He's built like a video game character. Watch the highlights. Greg, you know what I say about highlights. I don't watch highlights. Why? Because that's what they are. They are highlights. You have to watch and you know this, Greg. I don't have to lecture you. I'm lecturing other people. You have to watch every single play because sometimes even in the bad plays, you can find good. And sometimes in the good plays, there's a little bit of bad. So you can't just singularly watch highlights. Come on. Come on, Greg. I think James is out there. James, are you out there? I'm gonna put this in the link. I saw James. James, I'm putting James and everyone else. I'm putting the needle on the record. Putting the thing in the link. Let's see here. True freshman. Okay. Kayvon Thibodeau can't set the edge. No, he can't. He doesn't understand how to maintain and hold his assignment. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get when they run at him. He probably should make the tackle. I mean, just throwing that out there. Well, that's how you make a tackle. That's Cooper DeJean. That's how you make the tackle. That's how you square your shoulders, wrap up, and drive with your legs. You don't make tackles this way. Get away from me. I'm trying to get to the running back, but this guy wearing a low number is in my way. Oh, that'll forever be funny. What defensive tackles do you like in the draft? I like Mason Graham. Just not at just not at 3. I don't want a defensive tackle. If you're going to stick with Dexter Lawrence, people are like, well, we need to get Dexter Lawrence a running mate. Well, we had one in Dalvin Tomlinson years ago. We got rid of him because we decided not to pay him. And then he went for less money to Minnesota. But hey, you know what? We're not going to talk about that. Because if Dexter Lawrence is Aaron Donald-esque, he shouldn't need a running mate. We should be able to put a run stuffer right next to him and then call it a day. Kayvon Thibodeau, Logic Fan says, is a bust. He got blocked by a quarterback who used one hand. The same quarterback that just won a Super Bowl. Get rid of him now. I mean, is all the Jalen Hurts crap done? That he's not a good quarterback. Is that done? He's gone to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years and won one. Is that finally put to bed that he's not a high-quality NFL quarterback? Because I think it has to be. As you know, sitting here as a Giant fan, I would think you would have to say, you know, he's done something Daniel Jones hasn't done. Let's see here. What do we got here? It says, Joe, don't worry, no one is going to pay a running back that kind of cheddar. That's still my favorite thing. I don't remember the guy's name, but I call him the Vest. The Vest is sitting there, and Joe Shane, literally trying to ridicule him a little bit, sits there and goes, because you got to fix yourself because you're Joe Shane. Who's gonna give a running back that kind of money? And I love it because the dude didn't miss a beat. We've talked about it before. Any team with cap space. Any team that wants the best quarterback on the market. Any team that wants to win wait for it, Super Bowl. I watched him beat the shit out of my team. All right, well, we'll have to keep an eye on him. What Mars says, Tim, the real question is, who is the quarterback for the Giants this upcoming season? If it's up to me, and it's not. And it's not up to me. What's up, Anthony? It's not up to me. No, it wasn't Brandon Brown that said it. It was the white guy in the vest, and that he was sitting on the corner of the edge of the table. If you're looking for a bridge, I've always liked Justin Fields. And he's still young enough. He's mobile enough. He's not Josh Allen. But he could have that Josh Allen vibe. He's like maybe 46% Josh Allen. If Josh Allen's having a bad day. But that's 46% better than Tommy DeVito. He's mobile. He was 4-2 before he got benched for Russell Wilson. I don't want Russell. I don't want a washed up fucking quarterback. Because then you're going to see what happened with Aaron Rodgers that first year with the Jets. He's going to blow out his Achilles or something's going to happen, and we're going to be up shit's creek. And then we'll have spent all this money in free agency, destroyed our cap for the next 3 years, or got rid of our draft capital, and we'll still suck. Every single play, even handcuffs. What's up, Logic? Logic said, I stopped watching highlights years ago. I need to see several games and every snap in order to properly evaluate a player's talent. A draft bust can have one good game. Javion Clowney, South Carolina, blew up that running back. He was good under Spurrier before, but he became more prominent in the likes of ESPN because he blew up the fucking running back. Never really had a career. You can't really say that. He's never had a great career. He never had the career that people thought he was going to have. And that's why I've said this a million times before on this channel. People get mad at me. I don't watch highlights. Highlights are for ESPN. If you're going to try to accurately assess somebody, you have to watch every single snap. Because we've said it before. On the bad plays, sometimes there's good things that the player still does. But on good plays, sometimes there's bad things that's being done around to cause the play to be good. So on those good plays, is it more to do with what the player did or what the opponent did? Did he take advantage of an inferior player? That's why you have to watch everything. And you can't sit there. You can't sit there with the clicker, because I always love that. People are clicking the plays. And I love it because then they slow down the play. And then they stop it. And I love it because that's what they did with Daniel Jones. I'm not going to say who. But they slow down the play and they stop it. And they say, look, see, this guy was open and he was going to throw it, but this guy was going to come over. That's why he didn't throw it. You have to watch a play in continuous motion. A play is a play cannot be diagnosed by stopping and going. You have to watch the fluidity of the play. J Scores says, bring back King of the Almost Second. No, I'm good. Hand tackling. Okay. What's hand tackling? What are we hand tackling? Hand jive, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, everyone. What's up, Douglas? Her says he is good, but not Strahan-like. No, it wasn't Brandon Brown. Who's good, but he's not Strahan? What's up, Anthony? Where do you rank? Is that Hurts? Where do I rank Hurts in regards to what? To quarterbacks in the NFL? You just won a Super Bowl, so he's in the top 5. Jalen Hurts has this aura about him. You watch it in Philadelphia. The offensive linemen pick him up like he's his kid, like they're his kid brother. They want to play for him. People rally around this. This is the kind of guy that people rally around. People talk about his passing numbers aren't that great. Well, you also have to cultivate in his rushing numbers as well and his number of touchdowns. And people say, well, the tush push is also the reason why he's got so many touchdowns. Yeah, also, but you have to actually execute that play. Giants couldn't do it. How many times on 4th and 1 did the Giants get stopped trying to go over center? Anthony says, Tim, where do you think Hurts is? Is he as good as? Oh, here we go. Mahomes. You win a Super Bowl, you're in the top 5. You're in the top 5. You're in the top tier. If you win a Super Bowl, you're in the top tier. That's just life. What do we got here? So Logic says, don't worry, the Giant fans. The GM will fix the offensive line for the 7th year in a row. We all do not see the offensive line, defensive line for Iggy's huge earth movers. The Eagles figured it out. Howie figured it out. I've already said this before. I would send over a 3rd-round pick to Howie and say, listen, can you do me a favor and pick our 1st and 2nd pick? Look at this. Mitchell and Dijon, Carter and Nolan, Davis and Juergens, Smith and Dickerson. Jalen didn't do anything, and Jalen Hurts. Let's go back to 2020. That's how you build continuity in a roster. It would be nice if we could do that. Howie Rosen is the Hall of Fame GM. I actually agree. Oh, Broadway, Tim, welcome back. Did you slick your hair in Florida? You always gotta slick your hair now. No, man, you gotta do little thing like here. You gotta go right here. I'm gonna get frosted tips. Kareem, my brother, how you doing, my friend? What's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's going well. Gonna have to make a trip down to the Rose. Say hi to everyone. It was always fun. That was a fun night. That was a good night. I like I said, we had a good night there. I mean, that was I would do that again. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Let's say, Bob says, hey, what if no quarterback is available? What do you do? I've said this before. What I do if there's no quarterback available, I trade out of the 1st round. I trade back into 2026. Seriously, because I think 2026 is going to be a deeper draft than this year. I'm not overly impressed with the talent in this draft. You have these years where you got like top 15 guys, and then the rest seem to be fillers. And this seems to be one of these years. And I think 2026 is going to be a better draft. Sellers in South Carolina also beat Bama this year. You're right. Oh, actually, you're right. I forgot about that. Let's see here. Bad Dog told me that Jones was better than Hurts. Mr. McCormick. I laugh because Bad Dog told me, and I was on one of his stream for like 4 hours. And we talked about Jalen Hurts. This was years ago. I think it was Jalen Hurts' 2nd year. And I thought I had him convinced that Jalen Hurts was better than Daniel Jones. I really thought I had him convinced. No, because he kept telling me. And then I kept seeing videos that over and over again that Daniel Jones was going to be better. And I kept trying to explain to him during that stream. Just watch the two players. And I felt like I was beating my head against the wall. But now the guy's got 2 Super Bowls in 3 years and 1 win. And Daniel Jones is going to be looking for a team. Exactly, Tim. People have revisionistic history on Hostetler. He had 1 really good season in the Super Bowl, and his average at better for his career. You have to look at several games. I think it was the New England game, the last game of the season in 90. Was it New England? Parcells was pissed because Hostetler was not playing well. Hostetler rode the wave of a really good defense and a stellar defensive plan that the Giants had and a running game behind O.J. Anderson. And that's what he had. He had his moments. People forget Hostetler got benched for Jeff Rutledge at some points in time. Just throwing that out there. We got the bad dog comment. Lamar says, I don't trust Joe Shane. And with the third pick, if we don't trade it, who do you pick? Who would you draft him? I like the way you think. Someone likes the way I think. Well, Lamar, you evidently haven't been watching this show long enough. I've said it before. Both quarterbacks are gone. I got to go Travis Hunter. And it's not that I think that Travis Hunter is this all-world talent. I don't think he's Charles Woodson. I don't think he's, I don't think he's Dion. But what I do think is he would fit immediately on the defensive side of the ball. We've talked about this before with Drew Phillips, and I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. The league completed 75% of their passes against Drew Phillips for an enormous amount of first downs, for like 10.3 yards of reception. But everyone talks about, well, he had almost 60 tackles. Yeah. When the motherfucker catches the ball and then you tackle him, that's not what a corner is supposed to do. A corner is supposed to be like Patrick Surtain II and stop the gentleman from catching the ball, because then you don't need to tackle him. You shut him down, you don't need to tackle him anymore. And I think Travis Hunter can be a shutdown corner, but with his frame and his size and the way his tackling ability, he's going to have to rely an extreme amount on his athleticism. And I think that at the end of the day is going to be the problem. But he would be your number one corner right out. We're coming right in. He would be your number one guy. And and you could still use him for like 10, 15 plays. I'd use him maybe like 10 plays on the offense. That's me. What do we got here with the big old super chats? Let's see here. I thought Merriweather was wanting to buy 10% of the Giants. Floyd Merriweather and his group. You got to put it, because it's not just Floyd Mayweather. It's his contingent. Thank you for the super chat. It's his contingent. They want to put up $700 million to buy 10% of the Giants. Myself, I was thinking, I got a lot of these. I got a lot of these 100th anniversary coins from the Giants. I got a lot of these. So, of course, the Giants gave them to us, so they're pure silver. Tell you watch. Hear that ping? That's pure silver. Why would you want 10% of the Giants when you have no controller say? I was thinking about this. Eli Manning wants to put together a group too. You're going to have no, they've even said it. You're just going to say, I'm owner of the Giants, but you're going to have no say. You're going to have no operational control. You're going to have you are not going to be involved in any of the decision makings. Please hit the like button. Keep forgetting that. And I want to thank all the people that are watching from another place. But you are not going to have any decision-making ability. Is that worth $700 million? Rodney, what's up? Rodney Young, man, I haven't seen you in a while. Joe Shane is totally lost on fixing the Giants. You could draw Joe Shane a map and he would still be lost. OGR, are you still out there? Where is everybody tonight? I'm gonna put the link in here if someone wants to jump on and say hello. Say hello to me. Say hello to my little friend. Let's see here. 700 million. Yeah, 700 million. That's 700 million. That's I don't know. Joe, what's up, Kevin? Joe, don't worry, Mr. Mara. This will be the best $160 million you dropped on a Hall of Fame. I mean, you gotta love it though. You literally gotta love it. You could be so bad at your job. You could get literally everything wrong and not get fired. You can't have a $45 million quarterback handed off to a $12 million running back. This is the year of Daniel Jones. That statement alone should have got him run out of town. And it forever will live in infamy because of the fact that we're always going to see it repeatedly. Honestly, yes. Of course, Greg. Let's see here. Pizzle is still celebrating after the Colts win. Pizzle. Pro tip here. Okay. Little dab will do. Brian cream. No, I use what you call it. I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, man, but my hair's fucking perfect today. I am on point. I had to gel down a little bit because I had a picture, on one of the last stream. It was pretty high. I was not Kid from Kid and Play, but I was close. Baby, everything is gonna be all right. If you don't get uptight now, baby. Oh, sorry, I just had to do a little Kid and Play. What do we also got here? Post Super Bowl. Thank you for the super chat. No chance the Giants don't keep Aziz. He's had too good of rotation piece. How do you not get rid of Aziz Ojulari? I think everyone in the free world, and possibly Russia and China, knew that Aziz Ojulari was going to get hurt. Everyone knew it. And you literally had him at the trade deadline. You had value. We have value for a player. You're already losing. You know you're not making the playoffs. Do you think you could have got a 5 or a 6 for him? Yeah, probably. But in the Giants' infinite wisdom, no. Going back to Landon Collins. We're not trading him. Fuck that. Get rid of Xavier McKinney for like a 2nd or 3rd rounder? That's just crazy. Get rid of Saquon Barkley for a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th rounder? That's insane. Because they're not going to be back anyways. So we don't need to do anything. I like Aziz Ojulari. His problem is he can't stay healthy. He cannot stay healthy, and that'll always be his downfall. There's always those guys. You look at Terrell Thomas. But Terrell Thomas had knee problems coming out of USC. But he could have had something, but he couldn't find his consistency on the field because of the fact that he was always injured. Chat Sports days we're trading up to number 1. Chat Sports. Oh, the moron brothers. The morons. Literally, if someone just does anything for love, I think I see the guy on Chat Sports, and all I can think about is LL Cool J, old LL Cool J. I need love. he's begging for attention because they just make shit up. We got some breaking news right now. On the New York Giants fronts. Jesus is now going to be the quarterback for the New York Giants, and we've just traded the 3rd overall pick to the Heaven Holy Rollers, and Jesus will be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. Trade up the number 1 pick for the Ohio State kid. Listen, I wanted to talk. I put Big Will on the cover, or whatever you want to call it. I put Big Will on there because of the fact that you know what, I would never take Will Howard. I would never take him in the 3rd. First of all, I was a Joe Milton fan. And I got blasted because I said I like Joe Milton. I said Joe Milton has, and I said, and it was Mr. Authentic who tried to call me out on it, but that didn't work out too well. I said that he's got all the physical traits and physical ability of an NFL quarterback. It didn't mean that he was going to be one, but if you took a look at his body of work, his body, his ability, he had all the physical attributes. And I laughed, though, because I even mentioned that his stats were almost identical to Anthony Richardson, who was taken in the 1st round the year prior. And, of course, he comes in and wins that game for the Pats. Is it going to be an RG3 Kirk Cousins thing? I doubt it. But I do think that Joe Milton can play in this league. I do think that. Will Howard, to me, he is that prototypical statuesque quarterback. What's up, Greg?
What's up?
What's going, my brother? What are you doing?
Just relaxing, just relaxing.
Are you wearing a pink Giant shirt?
You know, that's how our team is.
You know what? I can't. Go change. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'm not joking. Go change. Go change, man. Go change.
Until we get some wins, I'm not changing.
You're gonna wear. You're in a foreign country, so maybe pink is okay where you live.
Hey, some of the best things like a pink.
That's true. That's. Or I should say.
That's what she said.
Oh my goodness, wrong type of channel here. Will Howard. I'm about to say why Will Howard with a 4th round pick is not crazy.
No, that would be good. That would be a good pick. He's not a bad quarterback. He has a strong arm, prototypical quarterback. He has enough mobility. Not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick, but to your point, he has the physical traits of a prototypical NFL pocket style quarterback at 6'4", 235 pounds. He's a guy with a big arm. Honestly, even out of Sanders and Ward, I think he's got arm strength plus. So I think he's even ahead of those guys. I mean, he's got the size, and I think he's if you watched him in the bowl game, he's got a good ability with the pre-snap read. The first half was a perfect breakdown of what a quarterback should be. The problem is there's 2 halves in a football game. And that shows because one of the things he is and always has been at Ohio State is that key word, inconsistent. And he's inconsistent with his footwork. He's inconsistent with his mechanics. He's inconsistent with his reading. But if you have this coach in Brian Dable, who's the quarterback whisperer, who's a quarterback guru, don't you think that he could have a potential of taking a guy like a Will Howard and making him into maybe better than a Kent Graham, better than a Danny Cannell?
Probably no, because a lot of Will Howard's faults.
Probably no. Okay.
A lot of Will Howard's faults are masked because he's on the super team. The receivers are great, 2 good running backs, a great defense to keep you off the field. Everything. That's a perfect scenario for it. Imagine Shedeur Sanders on that team.
Here's the question. So if that's the case, there are so many quarterbacks out there. Could you say the same thing about Jalen Hurts? All-world running back, 2 phenomenal wide receivers, brilliant offensive line, and a good tight end.
My friends, we were discussing football today. My friend said Daniel Jones could have been on the Eagles and won the Super Bowl.
No. No.
My friend said that. I was like, because that team is perfect.
Was he wearing a purple Giant sweater?
No, he's actually a Falcons fan. But listen to the argument. Like, everything's perfect. The best offensive line in football. You have Saquon Barkley, 2 great wide receivers. The defense come on. Like, it's a perfect team.
But the problem is, with the perfect team, you need the right quarterback behind it.
Okay, Tim.
The process.
Pick 5 quarterbacks. Is Jalen Hurts in your top 5?
He won a Super Bowl, so yes.
I would. He's on my. He doesn't make my top 5. I was gonna pick 5 quarterbacks at the NFL to lead my team. He wouldn't be in my top 5.
There is more to leading a team than just your athletic ability. Tom Brady, early Tom Brady, did he have? Because we all know Tom Brady went fucking cybernetics, everything else went fucking crazy with his health and everything else. But young Tom Brady, did he have would you say that young Tom Brady during his early Super Bowl wins was a top 5 quarterback?
He was getting there. You saw it coming.
Wait. You saw Tom Brady coming because he couldn't beat out Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, but when he took over for Drew, like he you saw it was Tom's team. Like you saw the progression.
There you go. It's Tom's team. Tom was the right quarterback at the right time with those early Patriot teams.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, his first year starting, only threw for 18 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. The next year, where they only won 9 games, he only threw for 28 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. The next year, he only threw 23 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. It wasn't until he was 28 years old in 2005 did he finally throw for 4,000 yards. But I love it, but it was 26 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Those are Eli Manning numbers.
Indeed.
So Tom Brady, though, won Super Bowls because he was the right quarterback for the Patriots.
Yeah, but sometimes Tom Brady played with nothing. Like sometimes, like he did have Randy Moss at a period, but at a period of time he had no wide receivers. His running backs, you can't name them.
He had Jabbar Gaffney. He had David Patton. That was a joke. I love Logic's findings, though. A pink giant shirt.
That's right. We're celebrating breast cancer awareness.
I thought that's in November.
I know. I'll make my own holly up in Sweden.
You make it own. I respect that. Making up your own holly. Big Omega Supreme's in the house.
Autobots, roll out. We roll.
Joe Shane after Barkley signed with the Eagles. Tamara, don't worry, we'll be okay.
But you know what, Tim? I was watching some film of Abdul Carter as well, and I think he's a bit undersized, man. I
do too. I agree.
He's a great player. He gets to the ball, like he really works. Do you put him at like a weak side linebacker? What do you do?
But here's the problem. For 2 years, he played off the ball linebacker at Penn State before they switched him in year 3. He was a linebacker. No, you can't. Because all of his deficiencies that he had at linebacker those first 2 years of Penn State haven't gone away. It's just he is quick. He's
strong too, but he's really good.
He's got that first step. You remember the old defensive lineman Peppers over in when he went into Carolina?
Yeah.
Julius Peppers. Peppers. Yeah. He had this step. He had this first step but he was a big guy that he just went around people. Jason Taylor had the same quick first step from when he was with the Dolphins. JPP, same thing when he came out of South Florida. He had that big first step, that explosive step. Abdul Carter has that. But the only thing is, unlike those other 3 guys we just mentioned, he just doesn't have that repartee of pass rushing moves. And I've said it before. If you watched, he hurt his shoulder before the bowl game. And there was a specific play in the bowl game in the first quarter, I think it was. And he, like I said, if you watched even his training videos, he does this little thing where he dips his shoulder and kind of goes around and tries to take the guy using his speed to get around the tackle. And I pointed that out even before the game, and I pointed out after the game that if you watch the game when he hurt his shoulder, all the tackle did was just push him. Just literally just push him. Because of the fact that because of that shoulder injury, he couldn't use his speed to build up terminal velocity to go around the guy and do his little dip because he hurt his shoulder. What you need to do is you need to come up with a swim move. You need to come up with a spin. You need to come up with something else.
Chopping and
anything. And at his size, I think the same things are going to be the same issues that he's going to have that he had in college. And I worry that, like I said, I worry that some team is going to try to make him a linebacker, and I just don't see it. I don't. He's not a Parsons, and Parsons plays a lot on the line.
He does, but I don't want this guy chasing us. I don't want to make a mistake, and this guy's chasing us around two times a season. You know.
Well, we already made that mistake with Parsons.
Yeah, I know, and the list goes on and on, right?
Don't worry, we got Kadarius Toney out of that one.
He's in jail right now.
We pulled the wool over their eyes. Those fucking
can I tell you something? I thought I liked Kadarius Toney when he first
I know that's why I brought it up.
I can tell you why.
Okay, tell me why.
Because at that time, Stephon Diggs and the Cowboys were considered to be a top 5 cornerback at the time, right? Or he was up there, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
And Kadarius Toney, that game, he had a brain, and he put him on skates that whole game. He got kicked out of the game because he's retarded. Excuse my language. I mean, he's not smart. But I was like, damn, he's gonna be good. And he shows flashes, but I think Kadarius is a great athlete. It's just he has no brain. He is like a salt. like a grain of salt for a brain molecule.
Do you remember the draft stream?
Yeah.
What is the first thing I said on the draft stream about Kadarius Toney?
You said you can't run routes.
No. Yes. Every scout says that to describe Kadarius Toney's
Athletic
ability, it would unique.
Yeah.
Unique. And I kept telling you, and I was telling everyone else, when something is called unique, it's one of a kind, but that doesn't mean it's good. And he had to, his big season came during the COVID season. His 3 previous years were nothing. It wasn't until the COVID season did he have 900 and something yards. But when you can't run route, you can have all the athletic ability in the world, but if you can't run a route, you can only pinball along so much until we've talked about it before. You know what the defender does? Sings 2 yards back, lets you catch the ball, and he parks their ass right in front of you, keeps you there until the cavalry shows up.
You never get a receiver at that diminutive stature unless he's like Devontae, like on the Eagles, or he's a short shot. Like I would never pick a receiver that small.
I wanted Devontae Smith. I really did, because I thought he would be a good fit for the Giants. And we've talked about it before. I didn't think he was ever going to gain weight. And he still
runs routes.
But
he has routes.
But there you go. He runs routes. I've talked about Richie probably didn't hear before. I talked about Mason Graham before. 320 pounds. I think he's explosive. I think he's a guy with a mean streak. I think he's a guy that you keep him in the middle of that field and you let him do what he does. He is more of a pass rusher at times. But like I said, it's weird because you always talk about sideline to sideline player, especially when you refer to a linebacker or a safety. In some ways, he's a sideline to sideline guy, but you want to play him in the box. I can't take him at 3. What about you?
Oh, Mason Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he has a wrestling background. He knows leverage. He moves good laterally, like you said. He's a dog. He's like a monster.
But you already have Dexter Lawrence.
Tim, Dexter Lawrence and Mason Graham. I know you're talking about it, right? If you're a center and a guard, you're gonna have a bad damn day. You're gonna have a bad damn day.
Kayvon Tip, Brian Burns. I heard the same thing.
No.
Oh, wait, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Marshall, Kayvon Thibodeau heard the same thing.
This is not Twinkle Toes and Twinkle Dumb over there, right? Those guys.
But you can't dump 20-something% of your cap space in your defensive line and still not be able to play the run.
But Tim, like that's what we're known for. Like that's what we built our Super Bowls on, just like drafting, investing on defensive line. Like remember we took Konua, we're like, wow, we took another defensive lineman.
Yes,
and
but we took pass rushers with Matthias Kiwanuka. Even Canty was a pass rusher. You also had JPP. You also had the likes of Justin Tuck. You also have, of course, Michael Strahan. You had Osi Umenyiora. But these were guys that were pass rushers that could play the run. They weren't defensive tackles.
We're drafting.
I'm gonna bring it back here. Who was the Giants' defensive tackle in 2007?
Who was that? Strahan, I think.
No, defensive tackle.
Oh fuck! I should know this.
Defensive, but here's the thing: defensive tackle 2007. Who was the Giants' defensive?
Thomas? No, I don't remember.
There you go. You know who played, and I love it because I've actually met this guy a bunch of times at different Giant events. You know who played a large portion of the time at defensive tackle for the New York Giants?
Who was it?
Jay Alford.
Yeah, he from Notre Dame.
Yep. Jay Alford, I believe, wasn't Jay? Yeah, no, Jay Alford was from Penn State.
Notre Dame.
No, Jay Alford's he went to Penn State.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm positive. Trust me, I'm positive on that one.
Yeah, all right.
But he played 16 games at 280 pounds. And who played next to him? Who started? Fred Robbins. Would you say Jay Alford and Fred Robbins were on the same level as Dexter Lawrence?
No.
We built it the NASCAR.
Nah, come on. Dexter Lawrence, you gotta put some respect on his name, man.
I got no problem with Dexter Lawrence, but Dexter Lawrence is not Aaron Donald.
He's not. He's Dexter Lawrence, but like
he's not Chris Jones.
But he's Dexter Lawrence. He's right behind him.
But that's the thing. He's right behind him. If you want to get Mason Graham, I trade Dexter Lawrence, and then I get my assets. I clear up cap space, and I have his replacement right in house, and I still got the Ghost Brothers on the sides.
You can't, if you get defensive end, one of them have to be like at least 270 or 260 or like you can't have like two like defensive ends, Tim. But in my personal perception, I think the draft starts at number 3. Two people gonna try to get quarterbacks. The Giants could probably be in the mix, but would you stay pat or would you move up?
It really depends. Like I said, you saw the rumors on Twitter that one of the deals was swapping 1s and 2 3s, 2 third-round picks.
I'm running to the podium.
I'm not only running to the podium, I am leapfrog. I am pulling a Tom Coughlin when Josh Allen, the linebacker from Kentucky, was sitting there. The Giants passed on him when Tom Coughlin, at 497 years old, ran to the podium from fucking Jacksonville and turned in that card. If you're going to tell me that it's going to take a swap of 1 and 3 and 2 3s, it's the bionic man. I'm sitting there going, waving it.
But Tim, our general manager doesn't have the mental competence to do something like that. No. What he'll do, he's coaching for his job. And when you're desperate and trying to save your job, you do irrational things. You try to get extra help, and so he's going to pay the price for. He's going to pay big prices for things that. Mara should have just fired him. He's going to make irrational decisions, and this makes absolutely no sense. Like
he's going to overpay in free agency, like he did last year.
Yes.
He's gonna overpay. Like I said, I love Bobby Okereke. Bobby Okereke to me is a good pickup, but not at $15 million a year. The league average for an off-the-ball linebacker is like $10 million. And we gave him $5 extra million for being awesome. And it didn't really compute much in the win total.
What about Brian Burns?
What about Brian Burns? I'm not going to fucking talk about Brian Burns. I cannot talk about Brian.
What about Thibodeau's 5th? Do we pick it up or do we let it go?
16.1 million. I let it go.
Me too.
Elsa or Anna, or whatever her name is, in let it go. I just let it go. I just let it fly away. I would rather give 16.1 million to Olaf the Snowman than I would want to give it to Brian Burns.
Thibodeau,
Brian Burns, they're the same fucking guy. I swear that these two motherfuckers are one guy getting one paycheck, and once in a while they just run to the medical tent, change out jerseys, and run back because they do the exact same shit. They can't play the run and they disappear, but we give them a ton of money because Dan Morgan's the friends of Joe Shane.
They get like for eight sacks, you pay $100 and something million. That's preposterous.
Well, like I said, the NFL Network, the day that we made the trade and gave him the money, NFL Network, and I said the same thing. That's why I always bring this up. I said the exact same thing, but everyone told me I was an idiot. Good compensation wise, it was a fair deal, but you paid $140 million for an 8-sack guy. And in Brian Burns' defense, he got 8.5 sacks.
Yeah. But like Brian Burns is, my favorite team is Florida State, so I've been watching him since like forever. But so I know his game. I was like, oh man, why we overpay for this guy? But he's all right, but he's not the $100 million worth of defensive end, in my personal opinion.
No, he's not. He's not. Oh, Florida State. They still have a team?
No. Thank you, Tim.
But they still have a team, or is Chip Ferguson coming out of retirement to be quarterback? Chip Ferguson.
The ghost of Tamarick Vanover's gonna come.
Is he gonna come back out? Because they need something. They need something. They need anything. Who's texting me? People are texting me. Don't text me. I'm busy. I'm busy. Well, Greg, I'm gonna let you go because I want to appreciate you coming. I want to run through this chat, so I want to make sure I want to make sure I get to everyone. Love you, man.
Thank you, man. Love you too.
The pink.
That's right.
The pink. You know what? Next time you're on, you have to wear that again.
No worries.
Promise me, man.
Yeah, got you.
All right, Greg. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. Oh, that's a big Greg. We always love having Greg on. Greg's a great guy. He really is. Smart Giant fan too. Let's see. Amos says Will Howard 6'4" could run, has a good arm, the same as Jaden Daniels. No, well, he's not Jaden Daniels. But Will Howard's not Jaden Daniels. Will Howard, though, is inconsistent, and that's being nice. He's inconsistent with his mechanics. He's inconsistent with his footwork. He's inconsistent with his reads. But like I said, he's got arm strength plus. He could throw. There used to be a. I think he was a right fielder, a left fielder. Texas Rangers went over the Philadelphia. He went over the Phillies. Pete Incaviglia. I can never say his name. Big Pete. Inky, they used to call him. He actually threw a ball once through the outfield wall. I think this was, and he skipped the minors. He went right to the Texas Rangers. That's arm strength plus, and that's what Will Howard has. And when he was playing in that first half, I even texted James and said, "Oh Jesus, not Bobby Abreu, it's Pete Incaviglia. Incaviglia, there we go." I said to James after that first half, I was like, "Oh my God, all Giant fans are gonna be clamoring now for Will Howard." Then he came down to earth, but when he has his moments and he's consistent, he's an excellent quarterback, and he has the Okay, Mr. Authentic, he has the physical attributes of an NFL quarterback. He has all those abilities. He just needs to kind of figure out a way to harness them somewhat. Let's see here. Why didn't Joe Shane trade those players? He traded Leonard Williams, Kadarius Toney because he's stupid. Charles Barkley. Greg robbed an old lady of her Giants. That was pretty funny. Logic Fine says, remember, kids, Brian Dable made Josh Allen completely who he is. Yeah, he only got better after he left. Richie says, might be a reach at 3, but I think worst matchup for the Eagles and the trenches, Mason Graham, that's his. I like Mason Graham, but I'm not going to dump all this money into the defensive line when I have so many other problems. We saw what happened even when the Giants were leading the league in sacks. Didn't work. You need someone that can prevent someone from catching the ball. What's up, Dennis? Let's see. Dalen made Allen what he is and comment on those who don't know football. Allen what he is. Allen. Yeah, he did. Well, he didn't make Josh Allen because Josh Allen got better after he left. Logic's Fine says, exactly. People actually thought Dable made Josh Allen, lol. Let's hear Mr. Hurts. Jalen Hurts obviously should be a top 5. Y'all called him a system player, but he only had some play callers that year only once. How many system quarterbacks when you never has a system? That's the thing, Mr. Taz. Every quarterback plays in a system. And that's why I was trying when I was talking to Greg about Tom Brady. Tom Brady early on didn't have his big season till, like I said, till what? He was 27, 28. But he played well. He couldn't beat out Drew Brees. He played well in the Patriots system. But you have to still play well. And that's what Jalen Hurts does. Jalen Hurts plays well within his system. And that makes him special because of the fact that his team rallies around him. Allen became what he is after Dable left. Josh Allen's a better quarterback. Hurts isn't a system quarterback. He is the system. I agree. Charles Barley, Tim, you got to stop calling Hurts top 5. You know there's 5 better quarterbacks who have would have dynasties if they. No, I don't. Because I totally disagree because you put Daniel Jones on the Eagles don't go to the Super Bowl. You put Kirk Cousins on the Eagles don't go to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, let's think about this for a minute. Let's honestly think about this for a second in regards to quarterbacks. Joe Burrows, I think Joe Burrows would go to the Super Bowl in the Eagles. I don't think Goff would. I don't think Mayfield would. I don't think Smith would. I don't think Darnold would. Lamar Jackson fits the system. So yes, I think Mahomes would. I don't think Rodgers would. I don't think Herbert would. I don't think Brock Purdy would. I don't think Kyler Murray would. I don't think Nix would. Bo Nix. I don't think Matthew Stafford would. I think Josh Allen would. Don't think C.J. Stroud would. I don't think Jaden Daniels would. Don't think Kirk Cousins would. Don't think Caleb Williams would. I don't think Jordan Love will. I don't think Tua would have. I don't think Russell Wilson. I don't think Drake May. I can only think of 4 other quarterbacks that would probably take the Eagles to the Super Bowl within that system. Or 4 quarterbacks, I should say. And the 5th to me is Jalen Hurts. You guys, you know what here's the thing. And this is why I tell you, hit the like button. This is what I have to try to explain to people. And maybe I should just have an NFL channel. I was thinking about that one day. I should just do a channel where I just do NFL. Because you have to think about it logically. And we as Giant fans are so ingrained in hating the Philadelphia Eagles. Hating any team that is not wearing the blue, red, and white. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to hate that. We're just supposed to hate that team. And we're not supposed to logically think and logically assess what these teams are. And this is what I always tell people about this channel. What we do here is we logically assess the Giants. And when you take away the direct hate of Philadelphia because they've gone to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, and you take a step back and look inward as an NFL fan and not a fan of a specific team, that's when you kind of see things differently. Charles who? I don't know. Can't take Howard. No, I agree. Herbert never won a playoff game. Alan Lamar can't get to a bowl either. No, I agree. And that's when we just broke down. There was 4 guys that I think we could put on the Philadelphia Eagles and still take them to the Super Bowl. One of them was Lamar Jackson. One of them is Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrows. So if you have those 4 guys, who would be 5? Oh, Jalen Hurts. Could Abdul Carter potentially be better than Micah McFadden? He better be. If you're going to take Abdul Carter at 3, he better be better than McFadden. Because McFadden still misses an obscene amount of tackles for his position. Timeout. Greg is saying that if we swap out Jalen Hurts for Daniel Jones, no, he didn't say that. What about Brady in 2007? Yeah, what about Brady in 2007? We've already gone through that. Okay. We've already gone through that. Tony doesn't have talent. He's shifty. Can't run routes. Let's see. He outplayed Mahomes, beat Allen, beat Lamar, beat Burrows, beat Daniels. Come on, stop. A rookie you're hating. Who we looking? Athleticism, says Logic Finance. Without actual talent equals no production. Plenty of guys with high athleticism with no actual talent. You have to have football skills. I think that's kind of what we're stuck. I think that's what it is. Charles Berger says, stop acting like Hurts hasn't had bad plays and very lucky interceptions, balls that didn't get picked in the playoffs. Now change that name to Daniel Jones. 9-7-1. He had 2 interceptions called back in Jacksonville on bad plays, on bad calls. They were both interceptions. There was no penalties. There was plenty of plays that balls were dropped. Quarterbacks get that. Teams get that. You go through that streak we talked about. Let's see here. Yes, it was Jay Alford and Barry Cofield. No, Barry Cofield was 2011. It was Fred Robbins. It was Fred Robbins that we were talking about. Let's see here. What does Turbo said? The New York Giants are the laughing stock, so New York and the Jets are both of them teams. Sucking. I can't stop laughing. It's all about LA later Giant fans. Yeah, well. Oh, Barrett Green. Will Allen, Will Peterson, and Barrett Green. Barrett Green, a former linebacker out of Detroit, wasn't it? Not just weapons, cheating offensive line that is professional at getting away with false starts and illegal formations. I'm going to say this. about the Super Bowl. And I love Chris Jones, and I love a lot of players on the Kansas City Chiefs. But watch that game. How many times did they line up in the neutral zone and it didn't get called? I would say at least 10. What's up, Stu? It's a late night. Cofield and Robinson played well for us. You're right. You're not wrong. Brian Burns laughed my ass off. Ugh, this team is a joke. It is a joke. That's the problem. You spend money on players. Were we ever a Brian Burns away from being good? No. Are we still a defensive end Brian Burns away from being respectable? No. You traded assets and cap space for a guy that gave you 8.5 sacks. As much as Carl Banks wants to sit there and pontificate how wonderful this guy is and how he does the little things that just don't show up on the stat sheet, I always love that expression. That's one of my favorite cliches. Favorite cliche always is you got to play them one game at a time. Yeah, you have to. But I always love it when they say he does the little things that just don't show up on the stat sheet. Which is a nice way to say he doesn't do his actual job. But he does things that you just can't. You don't see the things that he does. None of these quarterbacks win Super Bowls have good detection. Making Hurts win Super Bowls has good detection. Making abs doesn't turn over the ball. Jalen Hurts is the perfect quarterback for that team. He is the little brother. I don't want to keep talking about Jalen Hurts. We want to talk about Giants. Brian Burns. This team is a joke. The Giants have always drafted nice defensive tackles. We just don't re-sign it. We let them go. We let them. Was it Le'Veon Joseph? Is it? I couldn't remember. Yeah, I think he's still in the league. There's guys that Jonathan Hankins is still in the league. Did you start watching football last year? Hurts fumbles in the Super Bowl too. I watched Daniel Jones fumble for years. Charles, let me ask you a Jalen Hurts question. How many turnovers without Googling it? How many turnovers did Jalen Hurts have last year? Not interceptions. Let's say, because we only had 5 interceptions. So how many fumbles did Jalen Hurts have last year? I mean, do you want to take a guess, or because I get stuck. I get stuck watching Eagle games. I get stuck watching Eagle games and Pittsburgh Steelers games because I live in Pennsylvania. But how many fumbles did he have, and how many lost fumbles did Jalen Hurts have? Because I know. Did you want to guess? I'm sorry. I've got to look, see if you guessed. I'll give you an example. He had 10 all season. He had 10 fumbles all season. Dalvin Tomlinson is still playing. I love Dalvin Tomlinson. Let's see here. Le'Veon was good. He was. Davey, what's up, Big Davey? Brian Burns said it's all on his jersey. He's a big fat 0. I love when Davey comes in and drops some knowledge. I cannot watch ESPN, NFL Network, or listen to WFAN. When I moved down to New Jersey, I haven't listened to WFAN in years. I see clips that people send me, and I'm like, I just can't. I just can't. Let's see here. Okay, well, that's a Jesus comment, but okay. Oh, what's up, Thomas says, do you think we should trade back at Graham? Listen, I've already said this, Thomas. So you probably missed it. I trade Dexter. If you want to take Mason Graham, I trade Dexter Lawrence. Clear up some cap space up for the next couple of years. Get an asset. Hopefully, if the rest of the league thinks so much of Dexter Lawrence that Giant fans think, you should be able to get a 1st and a 5th. And then I put Mason Graham in the middle, and I still have my bookends of stupidity. And then I have additional cap space and assets. I take Mason. You trade Dexter Lawrence, and never say never because we traded Odell Beckham. You trade Dexter Lawrence, that makes more sense taking Mason Graham. But you're never going to do it. The Giants don't have balls. They don't. And Joe Shane would never do anything like that because of the fact that he's afraid of the fallout. There's a great scene in Major League 2 where the Japanese player who came over from the Tokyo Giants, and he's playing for Cleveland, and he's trying to get under Serrano's skin, and he doesn't speak English well. And he's yelling at him, and he tells Serrano, you have no, and he looks up and he goes, you have no marbles. And then Serrano figures out and goes, huevos? And then I love it because that's what I think of the Giants. They lack balls. And the problem is when you're desperate and you make a desperate move, that's not having balls. That's called just being desperate. There is a difference. And right now, Shane and Dable are desperate. Let's give them something to talk about. Let's talk about the Giants. What do we got here? What's up, J Sports Card? Dale Jones was the automatic fumble, especially in his first 2 years. Yes, but what happened to Charles? He had 10 fumbles all year. 17 games, he had 10 fumbles. What's up, Joe Rev? You want a Will Howard joke? Sure. I'll take a Will Howard joke. What's your Will Howard joke? Come on, James. We're just going to wait for you. What's the Will Howard joke? Damn it, James. I wanted a Will Howard joke. I'm going to put the link in the chat one last time because I'm waiting to see where's T-Brad and where's James and where's everybody. And where's OGR? I got a couple minutes left. I haven't seen anybody. I haven't talked to them. Davis Thomas, what's Thomas says, I would love to be in Mara's head when he decides to keep them or maybe his office so I can lay my hands on him. We condone violence here. Davey says, Tim, you seem, what are the teams? I forgot the Giants had balls. The problem, Dave. Oh my God, he's on fire tonight. LeVar, Tim, what's up? I'm here. Let's talk. What are we going to talk about? EC1. Okay, this is going to be interesting. EC1 has never been on before. You're going to get a short leash.
Hey, what's up, dude? Love your channel, man. As always, you're funny. And I keep showing every Giant fan at work your channel, man. And I say, go subscribe to him. So,
you know what? EC1 is now my favorite Giants subscriber. You have knocked off T-Brad, James Williams. You have knocked off everybody. They all fucking suck.
I appreciate that. No, but I was just going to comment on, I was talking to Charles in the chat because, I was telling everybody, like, it's not about this having the big arm, right? Because you've seen quarterbacks in the playoffs have big arms. It's about decision making. And when I watch guys like Lamar Jackson, they're turning over the ball. They're fumbling the ball. Guys like Justin Herbert who are fumbling. And the thing that Jalen Hurts did, and if you don't notice, is that his decision making, and that's what quarterbacks they need to scout is, can you make good decisions? It's not about the big arm because Daniel Jones, everybody say he had a big arm, but his decision making was the one that cost him games. Not being able to understand where to go with the ball. And Jalen Hurts has gotten better at that, especially. Everybody was bringing up that one interception, but it's like that throw to Devontae Smith was an absolute dime. The throw to Saquon Barkley, I know you don't like talking about it, but throw to Saquon Barkley where he threw it while Saquon was right down where he caught that ball. I mean, those are winning plays that matter. It's not about the regular seasons, because if that's the case, Dak Prescott will be a regular season winner all the time, and that's why he's 2-6. and he can't make it out of the division round. So it's like Jalen Hurts just wins in big moments, and that's what the Giants, I believe, need is a quarterback that can win in big moments. Can you be the guy? If I put the team on your back, can you deliver a winning drive? People talk about Jalen Hurts. Well, Josh Allen better than him. Well, why can't Josh Allen not get past Mahomes? Because the boogeyman is always in the AFC, and yet Jalen Hurts has outplayed him 2 times. He outplayed him 2 years ago, would have been Super Bowl MVP, and outplayed him again.
People forget that Jalen Hurts had that first Super Bowl 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He had a phenomenal game. He was not the reason why they lost that game.
No, it was. I call him Dr. Doom from Roger Rabbit, Gannon. I don't like him. I always said that defense was fraudulent. I didn't believe in Jonathan Gannon. When he said we're gonna gut these guys, man, stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you got the Arizona Cardinals Hard Knocks, where you say you got fire in your gut or whatever it is. It's just corny. It just makes you not want to believe it. But Jalen Hurts is a winner, man. And he has that. I don't want to say, but he has that Tom Brady mindset. Like, did you hear his? Did you hear the unscripted Eagles where Saquon Barkley and them were talking? Like, Jalen Hurts said, last time I left it empty, and he said, "What are you going to do with this moment?" Like, he's always saying stuff like, I had a purpose before I had an opinion. I mean, these are some veteran quotes that he's making, but he's the real reason why I believe Saquon was a lot better this year too. You got to understand, Saquon Barkley, it was going crazy because, like, when you have a mobile quarterback like Jalen Hurts and you're able to have a Saquon Barkley in that backfield, you got to pick your poison. Which one you want to stop? Because if you leave Jalen Hurts one-on-one, he's going to take it to the house. And we saw with the Rams, they try to shut down Saquon. What did Jalen do? Killed him with his legs. What I'm saying? And that's why Saquon. Go ahead.
If you watch the plays with Saquon, especially with Jalen Hurts, their play, I think it was the second playoff game when he went 60-something yards. He would literally, Saquon looked at Jalen looked at Saquon, and Saquon basically gave him the nod, said, "Yeah, because I'm going that way." And Jalen was smart enough to call the play to run it. I mean, if you look at the way that Jalen Hurts, and like I said, I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. I mean, like I said, I've been extolling his virtue since the day he came in. Always said he's better than Daniel Jones, but he is the right quarterback for that. Eli Manning was the right quarterback for the Giants.
Absolutely.
2007 and 2011. Jalen Hurts is the right quarterback because of the fact that one of the things I love about Jalen Hurts, and I don't want this to be an Eagle fan love fest, but one of the things I loved about Jalen Hurts, do you know what the picture was or the screenshot was on his cell phone the entire year?
The Super Bowl loss, and he says he's not going to change it. It motivates him.
Change it.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, that is a guy that has an understanding and desire to be best at his position and win. And he felt like, even though he had the best game of his life, probably in that Super Bowl 3 years ago, he felt he left the team. He left it on the field, but he felt he let the team down.
Yeah, I mean, he even told Saquon Barkley, he said, "You deserve it." And Saquon's like, "No, this is the team." He said, "You don't understand what impact you made." I thought you were going to play that all the time. Like, see, Joe Shane, this is why you should have paid him. You see how Nick Sirianni, did you see what Howie Roseman was hugging Saquon Barkley? Said, "You believed in me, man." And they were hugging each other afterwards. And you're like, Joe Shane just keeps on digging himself in a hole more and more. Now Howie Roseman appreciates. Look, everybody appreciates Saquon Barkley. They say he's a leader. Dude, he's a leader off the field. It's like,
I have to say this about Joe Shane, though. And you have to give Joe Shane credit with this. The running back market was so devalued that Joe Shane let Saquon Barkley go, and he revolutionized the market again for running backs. Because the day that Saquon Barkley left, the first thing I said is he's going to rush for 2,000 yards. And people are like, "You're crazy." I said, "No, I kept telling me he's going to rush for 2,000 yards. He's going to." Because you put him behind that offensive line, you put him behind a quarterback that has an understanding of the ability to, and this is one of the things that Jalen Hurts is very underrated. He knows how to read defenses.
Yeah, he's getting better at it too.
Make his adjustments. He knows how to do. He knows where to put. Eli Manning did the same thing. He knew where to put players in position to. Be that.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people like when they signed Saquon, there was a lot of people on Twitter that were wishing him injuries. They were saying, "Well, I hope he." Yeah.
We're losing you there. We lost audio. Well, we lost EC1, but that's okay because you know what? We can't always be talking about Eagles. But EC1 is now my favorite, my new favorite subscriber. I'm easy. I'm easy, but thank you, EC1. I had to check out anyways. But like I said, Kevin says the running back market is down. Joe holds my beer. You know what, guys? This was a good show tonight. It's 8:44. I got some stuff I got to run out and do. I want to thank everyone that came on. I want to thank EC1 for coming on. I want to thank Greg from calling in all the way from Sweden. You know, guys, I mean, like I said, whoops. Now we've lost. Oh, we lost internet there for a second. We're back. Tim, does your wife know you're easy? I'm easy as a Sunday morning. Oh, but I want to thank everyone. I'm losing internet here. We got a little bit of a windstorm here, so the internet's been bouncing. So I want to thank everyone that came on today. I want to thank everyone that was in the chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you for getting rid of easy. Listen, you know what, guys? You got it. I've said this before. You have to have, and it makes you hate the league, but you have to have different perspective. You got to gain different vantage points. You got to hear other people, because if you don't, 10% for the big guy, Tim. Always. You have to watch, because if you don't, you're never going to learn everything you can about sports and football. But you listen to everyone's opinion, you listen to everyone's team, and you can't just, and that's the biggest problem with content creators for the Giants. They don't listen to anybody else. They just think anything in the Giants, every player that gets waived, the Giants should sign. Every player, the Giants draft is the greatest player ever. But you have to be a fan of all football. And like I said, I could probably talk about I could literally sit here. If you guys pick the team, we're not going to do it today. Maybe we'll do a next stream. You pick a team, and I could tell you history about all 31 other teams, and I could tell you things about them now because of the fact that I'm a fan of football. You know, you want to go to the Houston Oilers. You know, I could talk about when Dan Pastorini got traded for Kenny Stabler. He sent him over to the Raiders. You talk about the great Earl Campbell. You know, you talk about Mouse Davis in the run and shoot. You know, you talk about Jerry Glanville. You know, you talk about Bud Adams, the former owner. You know, you talk about all these other guys because I know football because I watch it, and I just don't watch one team. Tell you the history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do you want to go back to Steve Spurrier when he was the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? EC, we're checking out tonight. EC, we're checking out for the rest of the night, my bro. I'm gonna let you on for a second, but we're checking out we're ending it. We're checking out for the rest of the night. And you still have no volume. Oh, hold on. It says your mic is muted.
Oh yeah, I just had a phone call. Someone just called me when I was talking to you. I hate when people do that. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right, brother.
But I appreciate for the last year, man. Keep up the good work, man. And you're funny, and I love that. You know, I listen to you while I work, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I appreciate it, my friend. And make sure, like I said, anytime you want to come on, just like I said, come on the chat. We'll let you on. You can fly, Eagles, fly.
I'll come back when y'all draft a running back. How about that one?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put it past Joe Shane. But my brother, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming back, too. All right, guys, we're out of here. We're going to play that music. We're going to play that funky music, white boy. The Sims here, Giant Straight Talk, powered by Olympic Blue LLC. I want to thank everyone that came on. And we're out of here. You can now watch this or listen to us on the podcast starting tomorrow. So check out the podcast. And I'm out of here. Peace.